Well, guys, it is Stag Sunday, and I don't mean to make this a reoccurring topic, so I'll try to keep this one short and sweet. But for Stag Sunday, we're doing another one of them rabbit hole knives. And this is the only example I have, but you can definitely wear yourself out reading about this one. I know y'all want me to spoon feed you all the information on what I show and talk about, but I kind of like sharing the pain and agony of research with other people. So if y'all happen to have one of these examples, which is probably slim to none because there's not a lot of these knives in the States, and information is very limited from what I've researched on dating these knives. If you know more than I do, please comment or send me a link or send me a catalog, because the best way to date these guys right here are by their catalogs, and they're just like the knives, they're very hard to come by. And y'all will have to forgive my German because I'm a hillbilly. I'm not German. I just now learned how to pronounce what I thought was Wiedmannschiel. It's not actually how you say it. It is Wiedmannschiel. So when I tell you the name of this knife, if I get it wrong, don't crucify me. This is a lockback stag handle knife from Solingen, Germany. And the quality is there. Very minimal gaps on the fit and finish, especially on the stag. To the liners, the bolster has some tarnish on it, but still a very, very beautiful, clean piece. When you keep fingerprints off of it. Let me try to show you this best I can. Friedrich Herder and Son, Constant, Solingen, Germany. Ever keen, ever clean. Now that is an etch. So before we get into reading the history of this brand, just my instincts, this being an etch and not being marked West Germany, I think it's after the fall of the Berlin Wall. Now, there are a lot of Herders as far as the last name in the knife world, but Friedrich Herder and Son. Now, some of these are marked ABR, like Abraham and Son. So some confusion there. As to how to actually pronounce the abbreviations. But so far, this is what I have found. Levine's list. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different herders. 4 of them from Silingen. So the herder name has pretty deep roots with Silingen cutlery. But Levine's guide lists Friedrich ABR son Herder. Trademarks: spade after 1727 and Forest, another trademark from Silingen, Germany. They were manufacturers. They are one of the oldest or longest lasting manufacturers of cutlery in Silingen, Germany, which I don't think they started in Silingen. I'm going to post a link to some pretty detailed information about the company. They started out in another city, and I can't remember how to pronounce it off the top of my head. But this company is one of the oldest or longest lasting knife makers to come out of Germany. I think they even started before Henkel's and some of the other more known brands. It's a very interesting read if y'all get a chance. From 1623 to 1994. Now, I've seen other opinions and documents that date them ending in 92 or 93. So I would definitely date this knife late 80s, early 90s. I've also seen rumor that there were some continuations of this brand on contract. So this being an etched blade, this knife might have been a Kloss produced knife, might have been a Hallbirch produced knife. Hard to say, not knowing. But this is one of those brands, especially this example, that kind of makes your head spin trying to date it, especially not having any catalogs to reference. But still very, very interesting that Friedrich Herder and Sons was one of the oldest or longest lasting knife manufacturers in Silingen. Now, there is a certain book out there about cutlery, German cutlery, knives and swords, that I'm trying to get my hands on, and I've been looking for a while to help better my understanding of some of the Silingen knives. But I have not found it yet, and some people say it's pretty incomplete, like it's a good reference, but it is not as good as, say, Goins in America. So it might not give me the information I'm searching for on this particular knife. Still worth a shot, though. Goins lists Friedrich Herder. Friedrich Herder, ABR son, circa 1623 to present. This company was started in the early 1600s. In 1925, Herman Bick and Carl Weiersberg were the owners. Mr. Weiersberg relocated to Buenos Aires, Argentina, and opened an office. H. Brick remained in Solingen and ran the manufacturing plant. In 1926, they purchased the firm of Peter Hendricks. They began using the Spade trademark about 1727. In 1927, they regained the rights to the Spade and Crossed Keys trademark from C.F. Moss of Chicago, Illinois. Due to World War I, these trademarks had been seized by the Alien Property Custodian of the United States in 1919 and sold to Moss. About 1931, Mr. Gustav Weiersberg became a partner in the business. The following are some of their trademarks. And I have seen these on older knives. Books are a pain in the butt. Spade brand, the skeleton key, the 3 Ace of Spades, Forrest, F. Herder with the pitchfork, and 3 Spades, Constant, Solingen, Germany, ever keen, ever clean. Now the last example there from 1930 is the mark on this knife. But this one being etched, I highly doubt it is from that time frame. I think that's the last trademark they used, and once they got closer towards the end of their production history, they started etching. And once again, this could be a reproduction from Albert's or Robert Kloss or any number of the German manufacturers, because through the 90s there were still a lot more than there is now. Just another one of those rabbit hole knives that'll make your head spin, make you want to pull your hair out researching them. But anyways, it is a very nice, very high quality, very high polish all the way around, inside and out. Tight lockup, beautiful stag, and just a awesome example to talk about for Stag Sunday. I'm going to put a link in the description on that talks about the company's history, and it's just very neat that I own one of these that comes from one of the longest lasting and earliest on record Solingen knife manufacturers. And I hope y'all got a kick out of this. If somebody knows more details or has some catalogs and can help date this knife or shed some light on this company, because they are hard to date, and there's not a lot of info out there about them as far as their more modern produced knives, as far as after the 20s, 30s, 60s. Like once the Berlin Wall come up, the info on these knives just kind of disappear. So if one of y'all out there can shed some light on this to further my knowledge or further anyone else's knowledge, please share. I'd love to hear it all about it. This is just one of them knives that makes you say, that's what I'm talking about. and give y'all one last look at that. Anyways, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Beautiful specimen for Stag Sunday. This is Hillbilly Proud. Y'all have a good one.